have got the women's 10,000 going on the infield, and Eilish McColgan has been piling the pressure on. This is almost identical to the splits that she ran when she won the Commonwealth Games title just, I don't know, 10 days ago in Birmingham in the UK. They had a pretty sedate first kilometre at 3:13, and then she's gone 3:02, 3:01, 3:03, 3 minutes and 4 through 5k. It was 15:22 through the halfway point, and that is why she has whittled this whole field down to just 4. Yasmin Chan, the victor back in 2016, she took the 5,000 metres at that championships as well. 4 consecutive European cross-country titles for Turkey. So a brilliant 8th place at the Tokyo Olympics. So Yasmin Chan is a fierce competitor. Klosterhalfen in front of a home crowd is doing tremendously well to stick in 3rd place here. She's had a disrupted year with illness. But Constanze Klosterhalfen at the moment flying the German flag in 3rd place. Her compatriot Elena Ray, the defending bronze medalist, is a little bit further back, but we saw that in Berlin 4 years ago when she came powering through the field. The victor 4 years ago in Berlin was Lorna Salpeter, the woman in the blue strip of Israel, 4.62 on her back, sitting in 4th place. We said at the start of the programme, was Salpeter going to be recovered from the World Championship Marathon, where she picked up a brilliant bronze medal? What a comeback from Salpeter versus the massive fatigue she hit in the Tokyo Olympics. She was in a bronze medal position then and faded horribly in the final 6 kilometres. And she did away with those demons on the roads of Oregon just 29 days ago, and she's powering through this 10,000 metres. Teferi saw her husband pick up a silver in the men's marathon earlier on. Jessica Judd hanging in there on 6th place. Now Sam Harrison finished like an absolute train at the Commonwealth Games. Elena Ray has done that before on track races, so that's an interesting pairing for me there, sitting in 7th and 8th together, the British athlete and the German athlete. They could start to close up that gap. You can see they're around about 160 metres behind Eilish McColgan and that lead group at the moment.
Well, you were talking about the kilometre splits. They went through the halfway point in 15:22.15. So that puts the winner on course for something inside 31 minutes. They're not going to challenge Paula Radcliffe's championship record, which came from the last time this stadium staged the European Championships. That was 3:01.05 back in 2002. But McColgan is absolutely tearing the guts out of this field. She's got Yasmin Chan, Constance Klosterhalfen and Lorna Salpeter sitting on her though. And out of the 3 of them, Chan looks the most relaxed without a doubt. Klosterhalfen and Salpeter, well, they're both looking as though they're straining at this stage. But Chan, well, I saw her win the European 10,000 metres Cup in France back at the end of May, and she ran a very, very comfortable 31:20 to win there as almost a time trial, and she certainly can run much, much faster. Yes, the World Championships didn't go the way that she wanted, but I think she's really focused on this, and she's really this year come back to the sort of form that she had back in 2019 and 2018, even after her European Championship win 6 years ago. But at the moment, it's McColgan still leading, acting as the pacemaker for the rest. Now, what's going to be left in the tank? They're having to work their way around the back markers now. This is going to make things just a little bit tricky. McColgan, we know that she can do this. We know that she can tick off the laps. She went through that 6th kilometre, and they're just coming up now very shortly to the 7th kilometre in 18:26.01. So she's very, very adept at ticking off 3:02s, 3:03s, 3:04s. And this is really a magnificent bit of front running from McColgan. But we've still got almost 3 kilometres to go. Can she sustain this pace? Can she burn off, in particular, Yasmin Chan, who, as I say, is looking comfortable in 2nd. Klosterhalfen, well, we're familiar with her head-rocking style, the upright, slightly staccato style of Lorna Salpeter back in 4th. It's going to be a titanic effort for McColgan. We've also we were talking at the Commonwealth Games, those of us that were there, about the way that she followed in her footsteps. Well, while we were watching the men's shot put, I looked back. Liz McColgan, her mother, for all her honours, for all her trophies, never ever won a medal at the European Championships. And now Chan hits the front. Have the wheels come off McColgan. She's digging in as they're going through once again more fat markers. Chan is heading for home.
Just under 3 kilometres to go, and that's a massive injection of pace from Yasmin Chan. As you said, Phil, she's won this title before, and if she used these tactics to win that European Cup 10,000 metres, she'll be used to it. Talk about disappointing World Championships. Chan, Klosterhalfen, McColgan, all disappointed with their performances in Eugene. But Klosterhalfen and Chan have had a quiet month to get themselves ready for this event. Eilish McColgan was very busy on the track in Birmingham. She will not be as recovered as these two are. Lorna Salpeter she is the athlete at the moment trying to close this gap back to Yasmin Chan, but that's a huge lead to open up 20 metres over this field in 300 metres when they were already running 303 kilometres. Has Yasmin Chan got this right? It looks very good right now, but she's got 2.5 kilometres to go, 6 laps on the lap counter when she goes past. Klosterhalfen tried to cover the move, and she's just starting to grimace. Regardless, this is the best run we've seen from Constanze Klosterhalfen in a few years, and that's brilliant to see. She won't be finished yet. She will get everything out of herself in these closing 6 laps. But can Salpeter and McColgan work together to reel back in Turkey's Yasmin Chan, or has she gone? What a great tactical decision there, just to fly around that group of 4. And she's opening up that gap. It's up to 32 metres now over Lorna Salpeter and Eilish McColgan. They have got to go now because Yasmin Chan is a high calibre athlete.
I have to say, this is starting to look as though it's a battle for silver and bronze. Yasmin Chan now lapping even good quality local runners comprising the German team. I think now that almost the entire field, I think there's only 7 women that she hasn't lapped at this stage, just looking at the computer information screen, and she's just carrying on, pouring it on. When she went with 7 laps to go, well, I think when she comes through at the back straight, we're going to have seen a terrific kilometre, probably, well, you can see it there, 2:55 kilometres she's just injected.
And that's where they were already moving at close to 3-minute kilometres, which is 30-minute pace. I know the first kilometre was to date with a 3:13, but they haven't hung around since then. And Yasmin Chan chucking in a 2:55 8th kilometre. Oh, you look at the screen and you go, Yasmin Chan looks absolutely fine, but that's a ferocious change of pace at this point in 10,000 metres. You can see what it's done to Lorna Salpeter and Eilish McColgan. But Yasmin Chan has got a lonely but inspired 4.5 laps of the track left to go. She took this title in 2016. Lorna Salpeter took it in 2018. Could it be back with Turkey here at the 2022 edition of the European Championships?
And just looking down the track, I have to say, Constanze Klosterhalfen looks broken now. It looks as though it's a battle between Salpeter and McColgan for the silver and the bronze. However this turns out, it was a fantastically brave effort by McColgan. She's just digging in now. That staccato style, as I described it, of Salpeter is just pit-pattering away around the track. But McColgan now, she's on her shoulder. And I have to say, Salpeter also looks a rather tired athlete at this stage. 4 laps to go.
Lorna Salpeter, the marathon specialist, she is so proficient on the track as well, but tired legs from that performance picking up the bronze medal in Oregon. She won't want to lead this to a sprint finish. She knows Eilish McColgan's got a turn of speed. So I expect Lorna Salpeter of Israel to do everything she can to pile on the pressure. But Yasmin Chan is just stretching this lead with every 100 metres that goes by. Eilish McColgan won't stop battling. Lorna Salpeter has been to the depths of pain in her marathon races. She knows what it's like to be full of fatigue, but keep powering on. But there's at the moment nothing they can do to try and get back on terms with Turkey's Yasmin Chan. She laps Jessica Judd, yet another good athlete down there on the track, getting lapped by the winner, and that just shows the pace that these women are moving at. This time, Yasmin Chan is going to see 3 laps to go. Eilish McColgan and Lorna Salpeter are making no inroads on that lead. If anything, it's still growing.
Yes, Chan just looking supremely confident. Israeli fans buoyed by the silver medal down in the city centre, out in force as well. There's the battle for silver and bronze between McColgan, the taller Briton, and on her inside, Salpeter. Salpeter looks as though she's weaving away. She's not running a straight line there. McColgan had to sort of end up almost in the second lane, or else she'd have been touching shoulders and barging. But there's no disputing. You can see Yasmin Chan glancing up to the screen. She knows that she has a yawning gulf of advantage ahead of these two women who are battling for silver and bronze at the moment. And, well, Yasmin Chan, she's lapped everybody apart from the two women in your sight. Klosterhalfen, who's in fourth at the moment, and another Israeli, Tafare, in fifth at the moment. I've never seen at this level at a championship, possibly with the exception of maybe Ayana in the Olympics, such a dominant display over the rest of the field.
So Yasmin Chan is just coming up to 2 laps to go. Her last kilometre was only a 3:05, so she went 2:55, blew the field apart, and now she's settled back down to 3:05, and that's a brilliant tactic, because Eilish McColgan and Lorna Salpeter, they couldn't even do the 2:55. It's not like they kind of went, oh, that's maybe a bit of a rogue, bit of a risky move for me right now. They could not match the change of pace that Yasmin Chan unleashed with 7 laps to go. And at the moment, they're just battling it out for that silver and bronze, and that's going to get tricky with these lap runners. Yasmin Chan, none of those issues behind. And many of these athletes, out of respect, moving wide, running in lane 2, but that can be confusing. And the etiquette, I think you need to set an etiquette, basically, unless you're very sure. You should just stick in the inside of lane 1 and not get involved. Eilish McColgan just starting to lift her pace. They have 600 metres to go. Will it be a medal for Great Britain? Well, we hope it would be, but it will be silver or bronze for Eilish McColgan and Lorna Salpeter, because surely it's going to be a gold for Turkey and Yasmin Chan.
Yes, as they come up to the bell, Chan with almost 70 metres advantage. And now Salpeter trying to push hard. Let's see what McColgan's got left in the tank. But Salpeter, gold 4 years ago, still very much in contention for a place on the podium. As Yasmin Chan, well, I'm sure she'll embark on a true lap of honour after she's got the gold, but this is a really valedictory last lap for the Turk as the battle commences behind her for the next 2 places on the podium.
It's a brave run here from Lorna Salpeter. She's got a marathon in her legs from a month ago, the Israeli athlete. Her male teammates were imperious on the roads of Munich this morning with their team gold. And Lorna Salpeter and Eilish McColgan battling it out for the silver and bronze medalists in this women's 10,000 metres at the European Championships. Eilish McColgan just inching ahead. She's got to hit 200 metres to go. She's moving significantly faster than Lorna Salpeter. I think that will tidy up the silver and the bronze medals, but they're going to have to look down the track and see Turkey's Yasmin Chan striding away. She's got 80 metres to go, 70 metres to go. She's going to lap another phenomenal athlete. Samantha Harrison was 6th at the Commonwealth Games last week, and Yasmin Chan is going to power through the line, just a whisker outside of 30 and a half minutes, a 3:03 final kilometre. Great running from Yasmin Chan. Eilish McColgan of Scotland punches the air, securing another major championship medal. And Lorna Salpeter, where did that run come from? This woman picked up a bronze at the World Championships just 29 days ago, and she's managed to hold on for a brilliant bronze here in the 10,000 metres at the Europeans. Constanze Klosterhalfen, tired figure, brave run, and 4th place for the German athlete. And that's a tremendous step in the right direction for Constanze Klosterhalfen, and great to see.
Well, the athletes are just flat out with that incredible effort, especially over the last 2 kilometres, 3 kilometres once Chan went to the front. McColgan's on her feet. Well, it was silver for McColgan over 5,000 metres 4 years ago, when on that occasion she beat Yasmin Chan, the Turk ending up with the bronze medal. Roles a reverse this time around 4 years later over 10,000 metres, and Yasmin Chan regains the title she won in Amsterdam back in 2016. She's the only one that I think that hasn't actually fallen flat on the track. There's still running left in Yasmin Chan, I think.
There is, and it was a great 8th place at the Olympics for Yasmin Chan when we went into those European cross-country championships thinking in Dublin at the end of 2021, thinking, blimey, could she make it 5 titles in a row? She couldn't quite hold it together, just came 14th. You know, everyone's got to have their break. Yasmin Chan back to her very, very best, picking up another gold medal on the continental stage for Turkey.
Well, Yasmin Chan spends an awful lot of her time back in Kenya, where she was born and raised, and she trains there just like an awful lot of other European runners. But we don't really know too much about her background and what she's been doing. But I did find out that she had actually been quite ill. What the nature of that illness was, I think it was some kind of bad stomach bug prior to Dublin. That certainly conditioned her result there, because she did, as you probably remember, you were there, and brilliant commentary on it, with her trying to take the lead in the early stage of the race. I think it's taken her quite a long time to come back, but there's been a really good build-up, solid build-up during the course of the year. Great outing, solo run, beating a lot of good athletes, a few of them in the field today at the European 10,000 metres Cup, and it's just carried on and carried on. I finally think that Eilish McColgan's very, very heavy racing workload has finally caught up with her just a little bit. If she'd have perhaps only taken one event at the Commonwealth, would she have something to respond to Yasmin Chan? We don't know. McColgan, wonderfully courageous athlete, races very, very often as well, is really adding on a very regular basis to her own medal collection, whether it's at Commonwealth or a European basis. And she had those tremendous times on the road earlier in the season. Perhaps if she'd have taken 1 or 2 weeks out here and there, rested a bit more often. But having said that, I really don't think there'd be many people, not just in Europe, but in the world, who could have stayed with Yasmin Chan today. Perhaps Sifan Hassan, if she'd have chosen to run here, but who really knows on the day. It's Yasmin Chan's turn in the spotlight once again.
So you saw Yasmin Chan do the 5K, 10K double back in 2016 in Amsterdam, and it is this evening a prequel to Yasmin Chan doing the same here in Munich in 2022. He's jumping a 2:55. 8th kilometre is pretty dangerous, and I'm not sure anyone's going to want to see what she's got up her sleeve for that 5,000 metres. Caroline Grovdal of Norway didn't line up for this 10,000. I wonder if she is just doing the 5,000. She took that European cross-country title finally after so many years of trying. And I do wonder, could we see Yasmin Chan back in winning ways as we look towards that 5,000 metres later in the programme?
Oh, she did go to the track in the end. Am I right in thinking she's not actually using running spikes, that she's using flats?
I think this season, the ASICS shoe, they have added a spike plate to the bottom. They did have a season where they developed some shoes and they hadn't popped spikes on the bottom. That was causing issues for some of the steeplechasers or some of their athletes when they were in wet conditions. But this year, the shoe evolution is everybody just hanging on by the seats of their pants.
And a well-deserved drink for Liz McColgan. I hope she manages to celebrate a little bit later on this evening as well, although it's a rather late finish here in the Munich Olympic Stadium. There's Lorna Salpeter and Yasmin Chan. They know each other very well. Friendly rivals. Raises the thought, when will Yasmin Chan step up and run a marathon? She's had a few good road races, without a doubt. You could see the delight on her face as she crossed the line. Absolutely stunned.
Seven laps to go is a really awkward time to start running that fast. If you were in that race, you go, come on, geez, are you kidding, Yasmin? This is far too early to start a big kick for home, but it was a tactical masterpiece from Yasmin Chan.
It just had that feeling with Eilish McColgan having led for so much of the race, and then Yasmin Chan just looking so comfortable that this was all going to Yasmin Chan's game plan one way or the other. If McColgan had kept it going, even at a slightly higher tempo. You have a feeling 6 laps to go, 5 laps to go, Yasmin Chan would have still been ready to fly to the front and go for home.
So that 5,000 metres scheduled for Thursday night. We haven't got anywhere near a sort of finalised start list for that. There'll be declared entries and whatnot. And Yasmin Lau just probably feeling a bit hard done by. She had a rough race, good on her. Thumbs up from the 2 Dutch athletes. And I don't think they would have liked to have their faces up on the screen, just a little bit disappointed with their results there, I think.
So Yasmin Chan confirmed 30-32-57 to take the gold, followed home by Eilish McColgan of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and Lorna Salpeta of Israel to take silver and bronze respectively. There's the full classification of the 14 finishers. That was a very high quality race. All those 14 women well inside 33 minutes. Yasmin Chan, well, we said we didn't think she could approach Paula Radcliffe's championship record. She was about 30 seconds adrift, but at one point, just when she dropped in that 2:55 pace, it looked as though maybe, just maybe, if she could sustain that pace, she could give it a scare. In the end, she just had to ease back. So as night has now fallen over Munich, some music crosses out across the Olympic Stadium. You can see the famous Olympic Tower, which has shone over this Olympic Stadium since 1972, since the Olympic Games back then. You can see the lake in the middle of the Olympia Park. Well, still going around the track. There's still quite a few people in the home stand waiting to celebrate them. So as we look at the highlights of the 3rd and final gold medal of the evening, it's time for the European Athletics live stream commentary team, myself, Phil Minshall, Hannah England and Alex Seftel, to say goodnight. But join us again tomorrow morning for separate commentary from the Munich city centre on the men's and women's 35-kilometre walk, and also from the stadium with all the heats and qualifications and the next disciplines in the decathlon. Please do join us then.